Students, good morning. Standard 7, subject honeycomb. हम गिफ्ट ऑफ चैपल्स करे थे, उसमें से हमारे यहाँ तक हो गए. सेकंड नंबर से कंपेयर हाउ द म्यूजिक टीचर ये नहीं है. ओके, कंपेयर हाउ द म्यूजिक टीचर प्ले द वायलिन विद दैट ऑफ ललिस. The music teacher played the violin smoothly. His notes seemed to float up and then settle down perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. His head moved the violin's stem effortlessly and product melodious music. Lalies, on the other hand, seemed to struggle with the violin. The instrument appeared unhappy and helpless in her hands. She kept on missing the track and produced a kind of noise which even scared Mahendran. Okay. Now additional exercise vocabulary. Choose the correct words from the brackets and complete the following passage. Well, one of the descendant of that cat goddess was a stowaway. ऑप्शन दिए उसमें से आंसर लिखने हो. In one of the Pavlov ship and his descent was the Mahabalipuram Rishikesh, whose descent is Ravi, florist. His twin at Mahendran MP Punai, her work Iki, his trick very pleased with himself. Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby looking but sturdy old sleeper. He became and nodded. These are just that right size, he said, picking them up. Mirdu and Meena follow him nervously back into the garden. Replace the underlined words, selecting the most appropriate options from the brackets and rewrite the sentences. I lined my coat with wool to keep me warm in the winter. I fill my coat with wool to keep me warm in the winter. Students were startled by the teacher's quiet return. Students were ब्रैकेट में सरप्राइज लिया है सरप्राइज by the teachers quiet return. On and on they rode for 3 whole days. Continue. Continuously they rode for 3 whole days. Don't go off track. We were talking about your afraid. Don't divide. We were talking about your affair. ग्रामर करना है ये बाद में. Choose the correct articles, conjunctions and prepositions and complete the following passages. Blank beggar was shaking blank his upper clothes and blank tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully blank the road, claiming blank the afternoon heat. The beggar out his upper and tightening at an inn. Afternoon heat, he needed something on his feet. Meena said, her big eyes filling it's not fair. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those? Change the voice of the following. The beggar was shaking out his upper clothes. His upper clothes was being bigger. We found him outside the cat. He was found outside the gate by us. He was found outside the gate by us. Ravi pulled Mridu inside the house. Mridu was pulled inside the house by Ravi. Turn the following dialogues into the indirect speech. Ravi tell him there's nothing left in the kitchen. Called Rukmani and he's not to come again. Tell him that I will go, the beggar said wearily. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. Okay, now let's start. Rukmani called out to Ravi to tell the beggar that there was nothing left in the kitchen. Then she added, strictly to tell him not to come again. Responding to the order the bigger, repeated, really that he would go, but then he requested them to let him have a rest there under that tree. Okay, now next. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals. Medu whispered to Meena. Ravi, have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I had given them to him. Mirdu whispered to Meena. Ravi, that see, suppose he didn't have the money to buy chappals, then she asked them if they had got an old pair in the house somewhere. Ravi replied, that he didn't know, and added that his were too small to feed the beggars feet, or else he would have given them to the beggar. Rewrite as directed. His feet were larger than Mirdu and Mina's. Mirdu's and Mina's feet were not so large as his. Wait, let me take off my slipper. Wait, allow me to take off my slippers. This cat is descendant of none other than the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat.